Yeah, we've all got some of these. Roles. Key concept. Living in compensation by rules and duties. Doing without receiving. Inauthentic helping. Adopting roles is the #1 cause of burnout and the second greatest dynamic for stress. Every role proves something about you, which is frequently the opposite of what you really believe about yourself. Where there is any difficulty in your life, it is a sign you are living your life in roles rather than with true contact, communication, or authenticity. Under every role, there are feelings of guilt, sacrifice, weariness, and being stuck. Underneath these are feelings of failure, and buried beneath all of these are death temptations. Deadness in one's life is a sure sign that roles are present. The deadness is created because there is only doing and no giving of oneself, so there is no receiving or refreshment. Roles are a defense we use to protect ourselves from feelings of heartbreak, guilt, failure, and even the overwhelming feeling we will die from pain. Thus, a role is a compensation for mistaken beliefs about ourselves which are painful or problematic. So we present ourselves in a way which is opposite to these beliefs, and which gains the approval of significant others. Initially, we give up who we really are to a mistaken belief, and then to being good, or in some cases bad, and finally to being useful, practical, or hard workers. The problem is that you don't receive the rewards for any of this. That goes to the role itself, to the proving that you are a good person. We don't receive because in the doing there is no true giving of oneself. Thus we close down our horizons and swiftly lose our energy, reaching places of feeling old, worn out, and exhausted. This in turn leads to burnout. A role is doing the right thing, but for the wrong reason. It's like wearing a suit of armor, which is meant to protect us, but which actually also blocks any nourishment from reaching us. Everyone has roles. The three major ones are the dependence, independence, and sacrifice, and from these spring all the others. A role is based on grievances and feelings that someone didn't do it right by you. A role can be a reasonable facsimile of success, but without the inner substance. This is why someone caught in a role feels like a fraud. Using the card. If you received a roles card today, you are being asked to look at areas where you are doing things by a recipe or because you are supposed to, rather than by choice. Every choice you make allows you to give yourself and thus to receive. You are being asked to live your life with commitment and truth, to deal yourself back into the game of life. With roles, for the most part, you deal everyone else a winning hand, but don't even deal yourself into the game. Forgiveness is another way which we would free you from the compensation which produces no reward. A role becomes a block against grace reaching you. Commitment or giving yourself fully would resolve this. This card could be flipped into the air and it will come down in two different ways. But you'll have to think about it for this one. So if that were to land face down, you are being signaled that there is some type of family role that you are caught in. Typically, this would have begun for you as a child and has since been carried into your relationships and into the rest of your life. There are 5 major family roles: the hero, the martyr, the scapegoat, the lost child, and the mascot. The hero, martyr, and scapegoat are all compensations for feeling guilty. Adopting the hero role is an attempt to do the very best, to shine the brightest, and to be the star in order to compensate for guilt and to save the family. Martyrs lay themselves down in sacrifice in their attempt to save the family. This can lead to illness, injury, sexual abuse, or even death. Scapegoats try to help the family by getting into trouble and taking all the negativity onto themselves. The family member playing this role would be the one everyone considers the family's problem person. If a family's troubles are deep enough, the scapegoat might actually even get into trouble with the law, which is actually an attempt to call in outside help for the family. The lost child and mascot, also known as the clown, entertainer, or charmer, are family roles which are based on compensations for feelings of inadequacy. The lost child tries to become invisible. He or she thinks that the best gift they can give the family is to disappear, literally or figuratively. The mascot always keeps the family entertained and is the one everybody in the family always loves. However, the mascot rarely feels loved for her or himself, but rather for playing this role and keeping the family entertained. The more a family is exaggerated into its roles, the more trouble it is in, and the more dysfunctional it will be. As with the more general roles discussed above, family roles are patterns of giving without being able to receive. If you receive the family roles card, examine which of these roles seems to be stopping you now. In truth, you will have played all of them, though you may not recognize this at first. You could either put the 5 family roles on different pieces of paper and pick one to see the one your subconscious mind selects, or you may already be aware of the one which applies to you. Our roles are recipes for living which stop our responsiveness and the giving or receiving of our support. Ask today to be shown the truth, so as to live authentically, happily, with ease and freedom, all sure signs that you are not living your life in roles.